give our special guest as much time as possible today, so I would like to give a quick introduction. We have a special guest with us today from Columbus, Ohio, the Ohio State University, where he currently serves as the Executive Director for Football Relations and Special Assistant to the head coach on the Ohio State Buckeyes football staff. Grand total of 34 years in coaching. Comes from Amanda, Ohio, where he went to Clear Creek High School. He's a 1982 graduate of Wilmington College, back in those days. In his career, he's been at Ohio State for 8 years. 4 years in his current role, 4 years as tight ends coach. He coached at Wilmington College, coached at Ohio University, coached linebackers and running backs at the University of Notre Dame under Brian Kelly, coached running backs, linebackers, and the recruiting coordinator at the University of Cincinnati under Coach Mark D'Antonio. Before he began his coaching stint at UC, he was the head football coach right here at Marion Harding. He coached the Presidents for 11 seasons. During his time here, he guided the Presidents to 5 conference titles, 5 playoff appearances, and helped 13 players go on to play major college football. He was inducted into our Hall of Fame in 2011. He and his wife Bev have 2 daughters, Dawn and Drew, both attended Marion City Schools. Coach Hinton, we're thrilled to have you back in Marion, Ohio today. Welcome home.
So if you're one of the guys face this way, make sure you can all stand up and kind of stand in the middle.
Hey, give him a mic.
Go. And I talk very loudly, so you will hear me. Trust me, you will hear me. First of all, I want you to know something. It is awesome being here. The day I left, January 2004, tears ran down my eyes when I had a meeting actually in the gym bleachers with our football team, and I told them I'm leaving to go to the University of Cincinnati. I mean, literally, crying like a baby, because I love this place that much. I'm so proud of Marion Harding and my experiences here. My daughter at that time, we left, went down to Cincinnati, King's High School. I got an apartment for her, and her and my wife and my other daughter, so they could come up and she could graduate from Marion Harding High School. Because that's important to her, to graduate from this high school. You are a Marion Harding student. You are Marion Harding. And I'm saying it like that because here's what I never want you to do. I never want anybody, your parents, any outside person in the county, anywhere in the state of Ohio, talk down to you because you're a Marion Harding student. That cannot happen. You be proud of who and what you are. You be proud that you are from Marion, Ohio. You be proud that you attend this high school. You be proud of that. Because the bottom line is, you are you, and you're special, and you're here. I have students coming over, like a lot of students that have come over, been in my class, know that that's how I always believe. I stayed in Marion. I turned down 6 college jobs. 6 college jobs before I took the 7th one to stay at Marion Harding. I turned down the Massillon head coaching job. I turned down the Camp McKinley head coaching job to stay at Marion Harding. Because this is a special place. This is a once-in-a-lifetime place. You just don't know it yet. Many of you don't understand what it will mean. How tight you will be when you graduate from here. How close this community is. Maybe sometimes, though, no offense, maybe sometimes you got to take this and put it away and talk to your friends. Because here's what I see when I come to a place like Marion Harding. Here's what I see. I walk in this building, I see black, white, rich, poor, I see it all. I see the real world here. I see the real world. I don't see the false, phony worlds out there. It's not perfect. This is not a perfect place. By the way, you use any place. Some kids have different home situations. Some kids have all kinds of different things going on. Some kids have a lot of money. Some kids have no money. I loved every second of it. When I lived right up the street in Cortland Avenue from Grand Middle School, right up the street, we had a thing back in, I don't know, man, somewhere around 2000, when a kid moved in from Chicago, kid moved in from Detroit. One was the Crip, one was the Blood. True story. One was the Crip, one was the Blood. Right? And they started this gang stuff. I went around my community and painted the back of the road signs when they put gang symbols on the sign. Because it wasn't happening in Marion for me. It wasn't happening here. It wasn't. It wasn't what we believe in. It wasn't our culture. It wasn't who we are. And I want you to understand now, you are Marion Harding. And I'm going to keep saying that to you because I want you to take so much pride in who you are. However, with that, you have a responsibility. When you're going to take pride in who and what you are, you have a responsibility. That responsibility is what Coach Day says, fight. Our motto at Ohio State is fight. Coach Day is one of his biggest words, fight. When you break every team thing down, fight. What that says is, fight to be the best version of yourself every day. What's that mean? Fight to be the best version of yourself every day. Well, that means socially, if you're the guy going out and smoking dope tonight, you're the guy going out and drinking beer tonight, you're the guy going out and doing things with young ladies that you shouldn't tonight, or vice versa with the girls, if you're those people, you're not acting right. You're not fighting to be the best version of yourself. If you're the person that should be a B student and is a CD student, then you're not fighting to be the best version of yourself. You're not. You're lying to yourself. If you're the person that isn't probably going to church, and mom's going to church, and dad's going to church, and you're not following them, you're lying to yourself. You're not being the best version of yourself. You're not. Quit lying to yourself. How many of you have goals in life? You better have in your high school. How many guys have goals in life? Put your hands up. Now, no, listen. If I ask you to do, put your daggone hand up here like this. Be a dude, right? Or do that. Put them up there, right? Now put them down. Here's what I'll tell you about that. If your habits socially, if your habits academically, and your habits athletically are not matching those goals, you better change your goals. Or you better match your goals with your habits. Which means this. How many of you have ever heard of Marvin Harrison? Raise your hand again. Marvin Harrison, you ever heard of him? You have never heard of Marvin Harrison. There's no way. Well, Marvin Harrison is one of the greatest wide receivers in college football, right? I can tell you this, at 6:30 in the morning, I show up to work every day. I walk in the building. You know who's, when I go up to get breakfast, you know who's out using the jugs machine catching passes? Marvin Harrison. When I leave to go home that night, at 5:30, 6 o'clock on non-season, we don't leave till 10:30 at night during the season. But when I leave to go home that night, you know who's out at 5:30 in the evening doing it again? Marvin Harrison. What? Marvin Harrison. So why is he elite? Why is he great? His habits match his goals. They do. His work ethic and habits match his goals. I'm going to give you a name, Marion Harding graduate. His name is Chris Wallace. Some of you may know his family, some of you may not. Lives in Pickerington, Ohio. Chris Wallace. I showed up in April 1993 or 92, whatever that was. I show up here. I come in the spring. The head coach here. He left Ohio University to come here. I come here. Chris Wallace is in basketball season. I walk in the gym at 7 in the morning. He's throwing baseball every day. He's throwing baseball. Man, that's weird. Baseball season coming around. He's throwing football 4 or 5 times a week, 6:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. Wow. Come football season, he's in the gym shooting basketball. 6:30 in the morning, 4 or 5 times a week. Wow. Well, guess what? He was all Ohio basketball, all Ohio baseball. He was player of the year of the League of Football, and he got drafted by the New York Yankees. A Marion Harding graduate got drafted by the New York Yankees. What? Think about that guy. Got drafted by the New York Yankees. His habits matched his goals. His habits matched his goals. Unbelievable what he accomplished. He has 5 children, right? 6 with another marriage. And his wife, Brandy, was a great athlete here in Marion, too. But anyway, all 4 of his girls right now have received Division I basketball scholarships. His 5th one will, too. She's a great player at Pinkerton Central High School. His sister will too. Now, is it by chance? Or is it because their habits match their goals? And I said to them, I know I'm very loud, I'm talking very much, but I want you to say these words with me. Ready now, Coach? Now we're going to say them as pride as Marion Harding High School. Ready? Be proud. Be proud. Listen, that sounded like pleasant. Don't do that. Don't do that. Talk like Marion Harding High School. Ready? Be proud. Be proud. That sounds like River Valley. Come on, man. I live here. I know. Trust me, I know. Be proud. Be proud. Of who? And what? I am. If not. I will. Change. Whoa, right? Whoa. Do it again. Be proud. Be proud. Of who? And what? I am. If not. I will. Change. Whoa. Think about it now. Think deeply now. If my goals, if my habits don't match my goals, I got to change something. My habits don't match my goals, I got to change something. The only person in your life that will make the decision to get out of bed and work hard at being a student, work hard at being a quality person, work hard at being a great athlete, work hard at being a good community member is not your mom and dad. That only person that can make that choice for you is you. And let me tell you something that I really didn't like when Urban Meyer used to say this all the time, but it's the truth. You either do or you don't. There's no in between. You either work really hard to be great, student. You work really hard to be a great person. I like that shirt too. You work really hard to be a great athlete. I mean like elite hard to be an athlete. Or you don't. And the only person you can blame in the end for not getting where you want to go is not your mom or your dad because they didn't provide for you this, they didn't provide for you that. It's you. You have no one else to look in the mirror. The only person, I told 1,000 athletes this, the only person you're going to look at in the mirror every day is you. So you better impress you. And if it starts with you, and you make a decision not to be the guy smoking dope, not to be the guy who listen, and don't tell me it doesn't happen, I know it does. Don't tell me the drugs don't exist, they do. They do. 2 o'clock in the morning, Friday night, 1994, 2 young men from Marion Harding High School knocked on my door. Coach, we're addicted. Coach, we are addicted. Not to marijuana, to hard drugs, LSD, acid, hard drugs. I'm addicted, Coach. I need to change. True story, I'll tell you the truth. I told him you had 24 hours. 24 hours to tell your mom and dad. And be honest with you. They're not going to cry. They're not going to be happy. They're going to be sad. But you be honest with you. One did. One didn't. Which one you think changed his life? The one that told his mom, dad, told him the truth. Now, both were divorced homes. Both did have a great relationship with both parents. One told him the truth. Graduated, ended up being an honor student, doing great. The other one is still fighting addiction today. We're talking about that would literally be 1994. That would be 30 years ago. Still fighting addiction today. But he had one choice at your age. Tell mom and dad, be honest, confess, and say, listen, I got to change me. If not change, right? That saying, change. He had to change his life and make his life happy. And he was dating a beautiful young lady. My neighbor was a sweetheart. And she was a straight-A student, wonderful young lady. And guess what? That marriage lasted about a month, 2 months, right? Because he couldn't get off the abuse. Couldn't stop. And it breaks my heart to know those stories. It breaks my heart because you're a Marion Harding student. And I keep saying it to you, and I'll keep saying it to you. You're going to be proud of who and what you are because you're a Marion Harding student. You're one of the elite people that go to school here. talked with, and I've talked about many times, Coach, why were you able to win here, right? Why? It wasn't me. I'm telling you it wasn't me. It was a group, this is a true story. So all you young ladies and just young men, listen, I'm telling you these things because I want you to know the commitment that people made before you to be great. 1994, we had a bad team. I should have kicked the best player off the team because his attitude sucked, and I didn't. That was my fault. As a head coach, I made a mistake. His first college game, this player I did not kick off the team. He went on to college. Now, he ended up failing out of college because of who he was. He went on to college. His first college game, he was National Player of the Week. Wow, that's a freshman. National Player of the Week. That's a freshman. I should have kicked him off his senior year to teach him a lesson about how to act. I didn't. So guess what? He failed in school. Guess what? He's been in jail. Guess what? Yeah. But his senior, there were so many of those incidents, and one of that kid I told you knocked on my door about addiction was a pain in the rear end that same year, right? Our junior class, it was a great class, looked at those seniors and said, hey, they coach, we're not going to be those guys. So I show up in the locker room, season 1995, and I'll tell you the story. I show up in the locker room in 1995, we won our first game, I walk in the locker room, 9 o'clock in the morning, the guys had to be there. 9 o'clock in the morning, they had to be there. And there's pillows and blankets and sleeping bags in the locker room. I'm like, what the heck? Don't say a word. Do our morning run, do our morning lift, send them off. Next time, we go, next game, we win again. Thank God, we win again. Come back, do the same thing. There's, like, I'm going to go, what is going on? So I finally asked him, why are all these blankets and stuff here? The senior class, we had such a tardy issue of guys showing up late. They had to be punished all year. Because you're not going to show up late for Coach Hinton. I am not being sick one more, I'm so sorry. Well, you're allowed to show up Coach Hinton late? Never, right? Never. Trust me, never. And so guess what? That senior class said, we're not going to show up late. They were sleeping on the football field. They slept in sleeping bags on, I swear to God. Right? So then I mean, one of our coaches, they stayed, and they was in the old locker room in the stadium. Another coach started staying there with them on Friday nights. 23 guys slept 10 weeks in a row in the stadium so they wouldn't be late on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. True story. It was then the first year in 34 years that Marion Harding won a league championship. The first year in 34 years we won a league championship. We didn't win a league championship because coaches called another play. We won a league championship because those seniors said, we're going to make a difference. We're not going to let the things beat us. We're going to change the culture. Remember that word, change? Change the culture at Marion Harding High School. And they did. They did. We were 8-2, should have made the playoffs. I was an idiot to game 10. We lost to 2 teams that year. One was state champs, one was state runners-up. The only 2 teams we lost. We went 8-2. We only took 4 teams in the playoffs back then, so we didn't make it. But we had a chance to be do something that Marion Harding's never done. And we did 34 years without a championship. We won one. Not because of me. It was because they made a choice to be great. They changed the culture. At any sport you have, basketball team, I hear you're doing great. What's your record? 14-5. Had a good year, right? Good year. So next year football, or girls basketball, or track, or whatever it is. I don't know where your genetic potential is as a team, but why not take it to be the best you can? Why not? Why not make it as special as you possibly can make it? And all it takes is you. That's it. And here's what happens a lot of times too, right? You know what does that senior class? To this day, on social media, I see pictures of their kids all the time. I see letters. I get letters from them. I'll tell you another story about choices. And I'm telling you this because I've lived here. I know the problems as a teenager you go through. Young man by the name of Jared Hartman. Miss Beaver, you remember Jared Hartman? Young man by the name of Jared Hartman. Now listen, I was a nut job as a head coach, can you tell? Right? I was a nut job. I wasn't afraid to talk to kids honestly, like about any subject, and we would have honest conversations, and I would lay it out there, we're going to go be the best we can be. Anything we do, if it was going to be whatever, we had the best pep rallies you've ever seen. Our pep rallies were off the charts. I mean, off the charts. You know, I mean, even that group like sitting in the corner not doing anything, they were out clapping for the cycle, trust me. But the name of Jared Hartman. Jared Hartman is junior. I changed the rule. If you smoked, drank, and did drugs in season, you were gone for the year, football-wise. You were 4 games suspension, come back in a few years. I did away with that. I wanted it black and white. Don't drink, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't do stupid things. We'll have a great team. Jared Hartman tested. He got caught by the police. Alcohol in his car. He was headed to a party. Blah, 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 blah. I had to kick him off the team. Loved the kid. Loved him. Broke my heart. Had to kick him off his team in junior year. Comes back his senior year. He has a really successful senior year. Not going to be a college athlete. No, he's not a college athlete material. He's just a great kid who enjoyed the game of high school football. And he loved it. So he has a great senior year. About 7 years later, I can't remember what year that is. I think probably that 95 team or 98 team. But 7 years later, he writes me the nicest letter. Here's what he said. He goes, Coach Hinton, the day you kicked me off the team was the greatest and worst day of my life. I learned so much that you can't give up the things that you love for the choices of alcohol. And today I just graduated cum laude. I didn't know what that meant back then, but cum laude means like high, you know, like 4.0, right? Breaks from law school in San Diego. Law school. So he went from being kicked off the team with Marion Harding High School, a junior year, having a good senior year, and the letter that he wrote back says, it was the worst and best day of my life. That day you changed my life. Because you told me I made a bad choice and it was going to hurt me, and you were honest with me. And I said, I'm never going to let that happen to myself again. So what he did is we made a cum laude from law school. Wow! Can you imagine? Law school. And listen, I'm telling you, because you're sitting here saying, man, I don't know where I'll be in 10 years. I don't know what I can accomplish. You can accomplish anything you doggone want to. It's your call. It's not mom, dad, teachers, Coach Williamson, anybody else's call. It's your call. What do you want to be? But then the sacrifice is, what are you willing to give up to get there? How hard are you willing to work at elite levels? At elite levels. That elite level is like that Chris Wallace story, right? That Chris Wallace story where you had to be in the gym every day at 7 a.m. with the other sport you're about to play. Or you're Marvin Harrison, who never gave up, and worked, and every day out there, so he got invited to the Heisman Trophy. Didn't win it, got invited to the Heisman Trophy. We'll be top 1 or 2, we'll make about $30 million in about 3 months, and he'll be the top 1 or 2 draft picks in the country. He'll be making about $30 million. Well, he sacrificed his life to do it. Because he didn't go out and do those other things. And why am I so honest with you as high school students? Because you're at that age. At 23, 24 years old, you can't come back and change things. The decisions you make now, you can't. And you won't be perfect. You will make a mistake or two. You will. But in the end, it's what you do with those mistakes and how you grow. We'll have a little competition. I'm going to try it, Coach Webster. We're going to see how we do. We're going to have a little competition. Now listen, I want you to know, you screw up here, you got a little penalty for it. You got a push-up. You got it? I don't care who even the cool guys in the back over here. You got to do push-ups. You got it? So here's the deal. A little football time. Oh yeah, you screw up, you owe me 1 push-up. Trust me, you owe me 1 push-up. Got it? So here we go. Everybody's hands like this. Ready? Everybody's hands like this. I'm going to talk football stuff now. It's all football. There's a reason why I'm doing it, so I'll tell you later. Also, if I say I'm quick, you got to clap. I'm going to set, you got to clap loud. Okay? I'm quick. Set! No, don't clap like cousin. Like Marion Harding. Set! Yeah, that's good right there. That was really good. Okay, now, if I go 1, if I say a 1, you got to clap 2. You got to go set. I'm going to say set, don't clap, and go on go. Set, go is 1. So set, don't clap, on go, clap. Set! Oh, who did it? Who did it? Who clapped? Oh, one push-up. Go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go. Well, we're going quick again when I say set. Set! You gotta clap. Set! So we all gotta come out together, right? Football terms. We all gotta come out together. On one. Don't clap on set. Go on to go. Set! Who did it? Give me one. Give me one. Come on, very good. Here we go. Do it again. On one. Set! Oh! Hold me. Yeah, I know it was you. Hold me. Here we go. Hey, I bet when you thought you came down, you wouldn't be doing push-ups. Right? I know I'm a whack job. I can't help it. Ready? Here we go. On one. Don't clap on set. On one. Set. Go. Now we're going to go two. So don't clap on the first go. Clap on the second go. Go set. Go. Got it? Here we go. Let's try it again. Ready? On two. Set. Go. On two, we gotta make two, right? We gotta make two. On two. I'm gonna say set, go, don't clap. The second go, clap. You got it? Here we go. On two. Set! Go! Yeah! Okay, here we go. Right now, one. We're gonna do it fast. On quick. Set! Gotta clap. On quick. Set! On one. Set! Perfect, guys. No more punching. We're going to be perfect. We're going to go on one. Do not clap on set. And I'll tell you why in just a second. Ready? Do not clap on set. Set. Go. Very good. Hey, so here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. The minute... Come here. What's your name? Come here. What's your name? Huh? Caden. So Caden... He screwed up a couple times. And wait, that's okay. That's right. You're not going to be perfect. No one said you have to be perfect. Right? He did his discipline, did his push. That's his discipline. What happened is his buddies over there, they were sure to point him out. They didn't let him slip, right? Same way in that corner over there, my young lady over there. She got caught out. Let me ask you this question. If Caden was about to go to a party and have a bunch of beer tonight, would you call him out? Yeah. I don't know, right? I don't know. If he's about to smoke a joint, he's about to do something stupid, what do you call him out? Because here's what I know, right? Listen up. And I'm glad I got your energy. Trust me, I'm glad I got your energy. Here you go, listen up. Now, here's the biggest thing of it. If you wouldn't, why wouldn't you? Because you can't win as a team unless everybody's doing the same thing together. You say set, everyone's got to do it together or you lose. Let me explain to you again. If your entire team, you say set, can't go together, you lose. and one guy of the 100 on your team, or 50 on your team, or 5 on your team, one guy jumps outside, you go back 5 yards in the game of football. You lose. But if you get everyone, I don't know if he's in there, 100 or more, you get 100 people to do it right. You know what I saw when you did it right? The room started talking, they started smiling, they were having fun, they were talking crap to each other, they enjoyed their experience of being on a team together doing something hard. That drill's hard. It's hard. But you had fun doing it. That's a great thing in sports. The sports are a blast even though they're hard. They're the greatest thing you ever get to do. A reverend a long time ago, you wouldn't know who it was. He said sports are not life. They're just the greatest tool for teaching about life. I believe that. I'll tell you a story about Miss Bebout. One of the most wonderful people I know. Miss Bebout started in Broadway. I don't know if you know that or not. Because I've been in Broadway, maybe still there. I don't know if he is or not, but he's in Broadway, like New York City, Broadway. Big time, right? She really didn't know what Coach Hinton was when he came into town. She wasn't sure she loved athletics. She wasn't sure. She was a middle school principal at that time. She really didn't know she loved everything that football brought to the day. She comes to me one day, and she says these words to me, one of my proudest moments in my 42-year career. She goes, Coach Hinton, I didn't realize until you had a really good season the impact that sports can have on a school. It made the whole school year different. Now, I want you to know, in that same, I went on band buses and cheered on the band for helping us win big games on the road. We had pep rallies where I recognized, whatever, it didn't matter if male or female student, I would recognize you. If you're a girls' basketball team, I would be at your games. If you're a wrestling guy, I would be at your matches. If you're a softball team, I would be at your softball game. Because we are Marion Harding. We were Marion Harding. I was proud of each and every one of you as students and people. And I wanted the whole school to be successful. And when she said that to me, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. That was one of my proudest moments because she wasn't a big believer in all that. But what she learned was that if kids do something positive together, it's awesome. It's awesome. In all families, you may get mad at your friend. You may get mad at somebody in your class. You may not like them all the time. But if you respect who and what they are, and you support them, next thing you know, you'll learn to love them. And if you learn to love someone and you learn to care about someone like your family, your home, your mom and dad, you learn to do that. You can't break that bond. Next thing you know, the whole community's taken off because of you, the student body. Not because of the downtown businesses. But the stadiums are packed, the lights are on, things are fun. People are proud of who and what you are. There's an admiral. How many of you guys know what an admiral is? I was kind of scared of this. How many of you know what an admiral is? That's kind of scary, to be honest with you. An admiral is a high-ranking official in the Navy. Right? He's like a general in the Army, he's a high-ranking official in the Navy. An admiral. An admiral gave a commencement speech. I believe it was to Texas, University of Texas, down in Austin, Texas, right? He gave a speech. And in that speech he said, every day you wake up, you want to start your day with a positive. You want to start your day with positive. So when you get up, make your bed. When you make your bed, you got one positive in it. One positive. I see it, please, what you're doing, you got the speaker in. I see it. You have one positive in it. You make your bed. Then go in your room, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Don't look like some of the mops I see in there now. You know what I mean? Actually do it good, right? Try to help yourself out. Make yourself look good, right? And then put on your clothes, go downstairs. Now you got 3, 4, 5 positives of the day going. Go downstairs. What's the most important meal of the day? Breakfast. Eat breakfast. Now you got another positive going. Take your dishes, put them in the sink for mom and dad. Now you got another positive thing going. And the next thing you know, I bet you have a much better day than the day you got out of bed really freaking lazy. The day you got out of bed and said, man, I don't want to do this today. Man, coach is going to be on my butt today. Teachers are a pain. I got a test. You throw all these negative thoughts. At Ohio State, we talk self-talk. Self-talk. What are you telling yourself you're going to be? What are you telling yourself the kind of day you're going to have? Because if you have self-talk of all negative, I bet you have a lousy day. You have self-talk where you started out with things positive. You talk about the good things. I guess my buddy did. I got to go get an A on a test today. I got to go play the game and win today. You start talking to yourself in positive terms, I bet you have a pretty good day. And none of it will be perfect. None of it. Let me give you the hardest lesson you're going to learn. Even if you do it right, you study hard, you train hard, you compete hard, it doesn't promise you winning. It doesn't promise you'll get a great job early. How many of you guys went and saw the movie Color Purple? Wow. The story in that movie is off the charts. About if you're just a good period person for a long period of time, you'll be rewarded someday for your work and effort. Just be a good person. Just be a good daughter, a good son. Someday grow up and be a great mom, a great dad, a great community person someday. Why not? Why not? Hey, good things happen. Kind of last story here, and I'll turn you loose. But when I came to Marion, I had a lot of people that like to take care of athletes. I stopped all of them. We had to wear a shirt and tie, dress shoes, even on game day. And if you didn't have it, couldn't afford it, wasn't my problem. My problem was this. If you couldn't afford it, you see me. I would give you, there's an old lady over there. When I say old lady, I don't mean it negatively. She was old. And there was like a house about 3 houses away from the stadium, Marion Harding. I would tell you, anytime you cook, I don't have a pair of shoes. I don't have money for a pair of shoes. I'd have somebody go break those leaves for that nice lady, and I'll have somebody buy you shoes. I can't afford the sweats and stuff we're going to purchase for the team this year. We'll walk around on Thursday nights, look the same. And I would say, okay, great. And I would literally, or I don't have the cleats or whatever. I'd say, listen, here's the deal. You paint or clean the weight room for a week and a half, 2 weeks, somebody will buy you those shoes. Because here's the deal. I wouldn't give you anything because you're an athlete. You had to earn everything you got. But I said, you can lie to me, people lie to you. If you work hard, it always happens for you. Sometimes it doesn't. In the short term. But it will in the long term. And no one needs to give you anything. You have to earn it all. Mom and dads don't owe you a new car for your birthday. Don't owe you that. You've got to earn everything you do. If you don't do things right at home, you don't earn it. You don't do things right in front of your coaches, you don't earn starting spots. You don't do right in the chemistry room, you don't deserve it. So you got to go earn everything. Guy was a student here, and we used to have, I don't know what chemistry's like in Marion Harding right now, but when I was here, the chemistry teacher was hard. And he was an old sucker, and that guy was hard. We had a guy that got a B, his only B in his entire high school, or entire career, got 1 B, got it in chemistry. When he went to West Point, one of the leading academic colleges in the world, West Point, he tested out of chemistry. But his high school teacher challenged him to be better than he was in class. And when coaches challenge you to be better than you think you can be, you need to be there. Raise your hand as high as you can. It'll be the last thing we do. Raise your hand as high as you can, please. Raise your hand, please, the whole room. Raise your hand as high as you can. Now, look at higher. Look up higher. Higher. Okay, now, whoa. Put it down. Put it down. Wait a minute. I said it 4 times. 4 times. Raise your hand as high as you can. This is where it went. Then I raised my voice. Said, harder. What all of you do? You found a way to raise it a little more. Well, that's your mom and dad. That's your coaches and teachers and your principals. They can get you to do more than you think if you're willing to give it to them. You all can raise your levels. We're never good enough. We're imperfect humans. It's going to stay that way. But if you let somebody coach you, teach you, work with you, you can become great. Absolutely great. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here today. It's so exciting. I've been blessed. coached at Notre Dame, Ohio State, University of Cincinnati, and most of all, I got to be the head coach of the Marion Harding Presidents, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you all. Appreciate you all.